Okay. Okay, let's see how this does. Yes, okay. Okay, welcome to DokiDokiLitClub because a Raven monologue didn't want to work. Okay, so we have my little mouse here and... Okay. Girly. Okay. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sawyery, my neighbor, and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, we would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this... No, I didn't. This is DokiDokiLitClub. I tried to, but it did not want to work. I almost feel better off running anyway. Yeah, that's because that's what I started off with, and then I had to stop in the middle and be like, yeah, let me switch this real fast. I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sawyery catch up with me. Ha ha! I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, girly. Well, if people were stare at you from acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me, after all. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sawyery. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students, making their daily commute a routine. By the way, girly, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you'd join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sawyery likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have skills for college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, and I die at the thought of you becoming a net in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Jeez. She reminds me of one of my old friends. You trust me, right? Don't keep me worrying about you. Alright. I'll look into a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. You at least promise you'll try a little. I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? I'm more surprised that I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. Okay. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayuri wants me to check out some clubs. Guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayuri? Sayuri must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Looking around, I realized I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you spacing out in the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here spacing out. Coming out of the classroom, okay. So I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? That you could come to my club. Sayuri, yeah. There's no way I'm joining to your club. Meanie. Sayuri is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday that I'd bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayuri is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning that I has to have planned all this out. Yeah, I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! Yeah, that's my friend to a T. And thus today marks the day that I sold my soul for a cupcake. That surprisingly accurately sums up my life. Sold my soul for a cupcake. Bet. I dejectedly follow Sorry across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sorori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member's here! I told you not to call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sorori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Girly, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. I like how my name's Girly, but I'm a guy. Top notch. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. I mean, I guess. Oh. Did the game just crash? No. No, come on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's happened with a few games. Mainly I think it was on purpose with things like Undertale. Okay. Do I have to start all over again? Let's just do the quick way of doing this. What are you looking at? Okay, it survived past that point. If you want to say something, just say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayuri. You can just ignore her when she gets moody, Sayuri says, back quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest toad in the book club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears completely more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayuri and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet you both. And it sounds like you already know Minoka, right? That's right. It's great to see you again, girlie. Minoka smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class one year. Monokio was probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... You too, Monoka. Come sit down, girlie. I made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monokia. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I was getting a little too excited. And how I make some tea as well. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayuri mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Minoka, and one space next to Sayuri. Natsuki and Yuki walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray, and Yuri opens the closet. Whoa. These names keep getting me tongue-tied. Still feeling awkward? I take a seat next to Sayuri. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. Whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate are used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayuri grabs one first, then Minoka. Then I follow. It's delicious! Sayuri takes her talks with her mouth full. She already managed to get icing on her face. I turned the cupcake around with my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet, full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. It's really good. Thank you, Natsuki. What are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Write them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, United. Well, maybe. But not for, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying the tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted Yuri looks away. I mean that, but I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Minoko raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid to answer this question. Something tells me I shouldn't be telling Minokia that I was practically dragged here by Sayura. I keep trying very hard not to say other Japanese names that I know from things like anime and literature that are kind of similar, but it's getting kind of close. Like Sayaka and Monica. Yuki's like every anime though. Every anime and every manga. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayuri really seemed happy here. So, that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Minokia, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? I could probably see you as a board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make it something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Minokia really is a great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the efforts to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. I have to work hard to convince people that we're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like festivals that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Minokia must have worked really hard to get just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, girly, what type of things do you read? Well, considering how little I've read it these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creative craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a... thanks for the raid. Foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid the moment I walked in, but it's obvious. Oh, you know, Nightmare? Well, tell him thanks for me. Her eyes lit up as she finds the comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. Desperately grasp at something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, you might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I would have expected that, Harry. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if the story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I can't really put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Horror games are pretty cool. I like horror action. I'm actually planning on doing some of the Resident Evils here soon. I do like Undertale. That's one of my favorite games. But I also like games like Until Dawn. One of my favorites is also Among the Sleep. That's a pretty good one. And then there is I forget the name of that game. I was playing it a little while ago. Do you remember online? The one where you're stuck in the Obius. Oh, why is that? Well, I just... Natsuki's eyes start over to me for a split second. Never mind. Yeah, the one where... Yeah, that was... You don't remember? No. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You keep messing up? On what? What are you doing? I left a piece of scrap paper behind at the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! Give it back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sorry to behind Natsuki puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute! That face, though. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. I mean, it does take a lot of skill to write poetry. So, I mean, it is pretty impressive. Why don't you share sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess the same for Yuri. Yeah, I mean, I could have guessed that from the very beginning. I want to read someone's poems. We all stood in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea for everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yay! Let's do it! Plus, we have a new member, and I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of our club. Isn't that right, girly? Sure is. Top notch. A+. Good student. Manoka smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back from the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sorry, you may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But Madoka, I'm sorry, I thought... Girly! I'm defenseless against these girls. That sounds like they're about to beat you. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That's it. If writing a poem is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Wait! Hold on. That's a skip there. That's... You won't... Okay! Okay, wait. Okay then. That's weird. Okay. Right. I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. 'Cause, you know, that's what you do. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Saria wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember today's assignment. Write a poem and bring it to the next meeting so we can all share. Manoka looks over at me once more. Girly, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class? Star Manoka with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up the food. Hey, sorry girls, we're already here. Do you want to walk home together? Girly, not girls. That's right. Sorry, and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart to the club room and make our way home. Though my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sairi, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Minokia. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I will have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. My character's an idiot. That's fine. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay. Determination. Okay, flower. Breathe. Peace. Move on. Okay. 20 of these? Jesus Christ. Okay, entropy. Heartbeat. Family. Ugh. Blanket. Chocolate. Melancholy. Massacre. Captive. Extraordinary. Embrace. Together. Mouse. Dance. Jeez. 18 of 20 at least. Analysis. Judgment. Unending. Okay, let's see how that goes. Hi, girly. Glad you didn't run away on us. Don't worry about it. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, girly. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it?
Oh, come on. He doesn't like he deserves any slack. Suri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I didn't know if you planned to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you clearly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monoka and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Curly always gives it his best, as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Girly can be good friends too? Sayuri? As usual, Sayuri seems oblivious to the weird situation she put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait, Sayuri?
Me?
Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind.
Sorry, made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Oh, that was her. Wrong voice. Okay. What do I do? I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. Guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. Make it happy. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Yeah. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected them to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Saria and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she is waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I feel bad for distracting her from her reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. Looks like the same book she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me. Our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh, that's fine.
If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just reading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right?
I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, I I stopped by the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them.
I see. That's something fairly obvious here. Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear.
Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What about it anyway?
Well,
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes. And scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. This is an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about a girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. So that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles, all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, girlie?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but in her mind she seems to be completely different.
It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at the life from a strange and new perspective. What horrible things happen just because someone wants to be evil? But because they have their own goals to their philosophy that they believe in? Then suddenly you thought you related to the protagonist. They're made out to be a naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well,
I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. I'm sorry if I ended up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
That's true. In fact,
it might be as well to get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you were looking forward to it.
Let me
just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book and put it in my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I skipped to the sit next to yours.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start at the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her present over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly bad or anything, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry, I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't mean to. Sorry.
I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri, and hold my book more between us two.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to open the book.
I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here.
Yuri takes her left arm, holds the left side of the book between her thumbs and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right page. Right side is a book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it's flipped onto her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face. She's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Eh?
To turn the page?
Yeah, sorry. I just got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again. Our eyes meet. I didn't know how I'll be capable to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah? Thanks. We continued reading. Yuri no longer asked me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assumed she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently lets go of the page, letting it flutter over to her as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she's also second-guessed all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but you're kind of reminiscent of some of... It's kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But girly, that's probably a terrible thing I have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait, I didn't mean in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant more of it's kind of cute.
What are you saying that all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time, so if we wait too long... Yuri exhales. You alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. Sorry if I haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from her book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of any preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright. I stand up and make a mental note where I left off in the book, and slip it back in my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah.
My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I can't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait!
Sayra and Minoka enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Minokia's hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Minoka's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same with myself. Or should I show my tone to first? I want to go with Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced. I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes light.
Exceptional.
What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. I'm getting so nervous for.
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imaginary and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually first time, really.
Oh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at the poem again.
Well, I know that. I just mean,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there were specific habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style so deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic and matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounded like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques into writing a poem, even a simple poem. You're not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together. It's probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, and it all comes with practice and learning by experience and trying new things. But I hope everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased how?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, me, or Natsuki. Don't mind if I read your poem now.
Please do.
I'd love to share my process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which, in itself, is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing, it must be this one. The last remaining austere light to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. Usually I write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. To be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, girlie.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it once after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work.
They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. At the end, I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, girlie. Me too. Okay, I think I'm gonna save it here. Thank you guys for watching. It's been like an hour. My voice hurts. Sorry. It's a lot of talking. So thank y'all for watching. I will be streaming tomorrow morning with the online NPC. So until then,